A clip put up by Tennessee Brando. J.D. Vance and Erika Kirk look weirder every day. Let's have a listen to this 10-minute clip.
All right, folks, we have got to talk about this cringe-worthy moment between J.D. Vance and the grieving widow, Kirk. This is one of those that's got everybody talking, and rightfully so, because when you see it, you have so many thoughts and so many questions. I don't know about you all, but when I saw her dressed this way, I thought she was going to a WWE event. I thought maybe she was now entering a feud with Rhea Ripley, and I thought she was going to go out and cut a promo, not go out and introduce the Vice President of the United States. Now, I'm not sitting here trying to shame her for the way she dresses or anything like that, but it's just super awkward that this would be the way a grieving widow would dress, and then this is the way that she would hug the VP and run her fingers through his hair. I actually went looking, believe it or not, before I made this video, I went looking to see if I could find an image of any kind where Jackie Onassis was running her fingers through LBJ's hair. I Googled it every which way I could, and I can't find it. I could find them standing next to one another looking all solemn. I can find a couple of pictures of them, sitting beside each other, maybe even sharing a smile, but I have yet to see the picture of Jackie Onassis dressed like that, running her fingers through LBJ's hair. But I'm sure somebody can make that happen. But it didn't happen in real life because before this whole circus started, people didn't act this way. Now, what's even more weird to me than the way she's dressed is what she said before he came on stage. That's the moment that to me is even more awkward. And you just be the judge for yourself.
I am tremendously blessed and honored tonight to be able to introduce to you a very, very dear friend and his wife. They are incredible. And I see no one will ever replace my husband. No. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD, and Vice President JD Vance. I do. And that's why I'm so blessed to be able to introduce him tonight. He's an amazing man. So please help me welcome to the stage Vice President JD Vance.
Now, I'm sure all of us at some point in our lifetime has known someone who might have moved on a little too soon after they lost their spouse. You may have knew a man or a woman who moved on a little too soon. You thought, dang, they ain't really even gone yet, and you're already moving on. And if you question that person about why they moved on so fast, usually they will say something to the nature of, well, I saw qualities in this person that reminded me of the person that I lost, and that's why that I clung to them. That's why that I grew close to them, because I saw those qualities in them. And I can tell you, I grew up, when I was watching that, I got to thinking back on growing up in the church. I kind of went back and forth between the Pentecostal church and the Southern Baptist church. And I can tell you one thing, Southern Baptist people absolutely love to gossip. Now, I'm sorry if you're Southern Baptist. I'm not sorry you're offended. I'm just sorry if you're Southern Baptist. But they love to gossip. They love to talk behind each other's back. And I can tell you that if Erika Kirk and J.D. Vance, if that was the minister and then like the deacon's wife hugging like that on the stage, I promise you everybody in that church will be whispering, everybody in that church will be gossiping behind their backs, and everybody in that church will be demanding an explanation, because this just looks way too weird and way too creepy. And another thought that went through my head when I saw their hug and their embrace and her saying she saw the qualities in JD that she saw in Charlie, I also flashed back to this clip of JD talking about how that he really hopes his wife will come around to having Christian viewpoints. Yeah, it just keeps getting weirder. Take a look.
And yes, my wife did not grow up Christian. I think it's fair to say that she grew up in a Hindu family, but not a particularly religious family in either direction. In fact, when I met my wife, we were both, I would consider myself an agnostic or an atheist, and that's what I think she would have considered herself as well. Everybody has to come to their own arrangement here. The way that we've come to our arrangement is she's my best friend. We talk to each other about this stuff. So we decided to raise our kids Christian. Our two oldest kids who go to school, they go to a Christian school. Our 8-year-old did his first communion about a year ago. That's the way that we have come to our arrangement. But thank you. My 8-year-old was also very proud of his first communion. Thank you, guys. I'll tell him that Old Miss wishes him the best. But I think everybody has to have this own conversation when you're in a marriage. I mean, it's true for friends of mine who are in Protestant and Catholic marriages, friends of mine who are in, atheist and Christian marriages. You just got to talk to the only advice I can give is you just got to talk to the person that God has put you with, and you've got to make those decisions as a family unit. For us, it works out. Now, most Sundays, Usha will come with me to church. As I've told her, and I've said publicly, and I'll say now in front of 10,000 of my closest friends, do I hope eventually that she is somehow moved by the same thing that I was moved in by church? Yeah, I honestly do wish that, because I believe in the Christian gospel, and I hope eventually my wife comes to see it the same way. But if she doesn't, then God says everybody has free will, and so that doesn't cause a problem for me. That's something you work out with your friends, with your family, with the person that you love. Again, one of the most important Christian principles is that you respect free will. Usha's closer to the priests who baptize me than maybe I am. They talk about this stuff. My attitude is you figure this stuff out as a family, and you trust in God to have a plan, and you try to follow it as best as you can.
About 10 days.
What do you think of that bullshitty spirit, huh? It's going to get rid of that Hindu.
That's what I try to do.
Now, there is so much wrong with that clip. I could actually do an entire video where I just broke down that clip alone and talked about everything that's wrong about what he's sitting there saying. He's concerned about her religious views, and he wishes she would come around to his way of thinking. He hopes that she does. And you could easily flip that script and say, well, I'm sure she probably hopes you come around to her way of thinking, and you actually want to welcome immigrants again the way that you did her and used her to your advantage when it was time. There's just so much wrong with that. But I'm not trying to be a matchmaker here, and I'm not calling for JD to get divorced, but I'm just saying, if he's looking for a Christian woman who would embrace his beliefs and values, well, Erika is looking for someone that's got the same qualities as Charlie to her and will fight the same fight as Charlie. So, I don't know. I mean, if I was going to have a dating game, those two could be contestants. And it's just so cringe and so weird. And the funniest part to me is just sitting back watching people defend it. And there's a lot of people that will say to me, well, Brando, when you react to Trump, it just makes him stronger, man. You can't react to it. You can't say nothing about it, because if you react to it, then they love that. They troll you when you react to it. And I'm sitting there going, no, what's really crazy to me is the fact that this stuff happens, and there's zero consistency from MAGA and zero consistency from the evangelicals of the world, who, if this was any other couple in any other congregation in the United States, they would absolutely be gossiping and demanding explanations. It's amazing to me. It's not about us pointing this stuff out and them enjoying trolling us. To me, it's more about the fact that when we point it out, there is never a moment where they go, gee, you may have a point. Instead, they just double down on all of the rhetoric and think that they're owning us. And so it's so ridiculous to me that these are the type of people that we're up against, this level of hypocrisy. But we're up against it, and we're going to be for a long time. And so we have to continue to stand up and call this stuff out. And yeah, they're going to troll, because that's what they are. And I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of having trolls run our government. We got enough internet trolls. There'll always be internet trolls. As long as the internet's around, there'll be someone trolling someone somewhere. That's just, I'm kind of writing a song here, but they will. There will always be a troll. There will always be someone trolling someone. It's trolling time somewhere. It always will be. I just don't want those people to be running our government. And I sure as hell don't want a bunch of radical, right-wing extremist Christian nationalists like Erika Trump and JD Vance running our government. And if that's the future of the Republican Party, if that's where we're headed after Trump finally rides off into the sunset, is Erika and JD, then buckle up, because that ride's going to get even bumpier. They're going to come for every right, and they're going to come for everything that they disagree with. And we have to stand up, and we have to fight for everybody. We have to fight for the most marginalized, and we have to stand up against this hypocrisy and call it out and let them troll. Trolls are always going to troll, but we can't sit back and be silent on these things.
So, what do you think, huh? I think she sees herself as First Lady. Yeah, and that's what she wants to be, First Lady. Got to get rid of Usha. They got rid of Charlie. Didn't they? Have a look at the clip. Let me know what you think. Pass it along, and thanks for listening.